Hey, what's going on, everybody? ScottDogGaming here. Thank you very much for joining us. As you can see, we are playing some Football Manager 2016. Our Football Manager career mode is back. And this time it's back with a new manager in a new country. I had a long, hard think about what we were going to do for a series this year. Hummed and hard quite a lot. I looked at an awful lot of different teams. I looked at some of the new features in Football Manager, which include creating your own team and choosing a draft. And I thought about managing a Premier League club, thought about starting unemployed. I contemplated being manager of Copenhagen in Denmark, hoping that we could maybe get them to win the Champions League. I thought about Ajax and then stumbled across Sparta Rotterdam. Now, they've got quite an interesting story, and that's why I've opted for them this year. Sparta Rotterdam. Let's start off first of all introducing you to Dave Sexton. There he is. Looks a little bit sad. 25 years old. He had a promising career as a footballer. Made it to a professional level, and then unfortunately a knee injury ended any hopes of pursuing that career. However, he wasn't to be too disheartened. He went and did his coaching courses, and here he is. Here he is as manager of Sparta. Somehow he went to the interview, did a fantastic job in the interview, saying his dreams of returning Sparta to the previous glory days, which we'll come on to in a second, and they gave him a job. I'm not sure why he's looking so glum in his picture, but there we have it. He is looking a bit sad. Anyway, Sparta Rotterdam. I guess the question is why Sparta Rotterdam, first of all. Let me just, I was doing some research on teams, and Sparta came up, and obviously I looked at them. Let me just give you a quick history. Sparta were formed in 1888, where there was a cricket club called Sparta, and they founded a football branch. In 1890, they played their first match. They then withdrew from some competitions. In 1897, then in 1899, they visited Sunderland, of all places, and they were so impressed by the red and white jersey. That's where they opted for the red and white of Sparta Rotterdam that we have today. Apparently, this is all from the wiki page, so let's not take it as absolute gospel, but it's quite interesting if that's the fact. So that's kind of how they came about. Obviously, they're from Rotterdam. They play currently in the second tier of football in Holland. I think it's the Jupiter League, but I'm not sure if it's called that anymore. However, why did I choose them? So, interestingly, 4 teams are more successful in Holland than Sparta Rotterdam. Obviously, your Ajax, your PSV, and your Feyenoord. With 33 current League One titles for Ajax, 22 for PSV, 14 for Feyenoord. Then we've got HVV with 10, and then Sparta with 6. Now, I was very, very close to saying let's try HVV because their last win came in 1913 of a league title or of a trophy. Sparta's was in 1959. It was the last time they won a trophy. And I thought, you know what? That's the kind of story I want. I want to take a team who were previously successful. They've obviously had a tough time of it. They've slipped into the lower tiers of the league. And now's our chance to bring them back. And that's why we've chosen them. That's the only reason why. Let's have a little look at what we've got here. So let's just have a little look at the team and whatever else we've got going on. So I've played the friendly games. I've not done a great deal more than that. I've just sort of done enough to get us into a position where we're ready to go. So that's what we're going to do. As you can see, there's a little bit about Sparta. They finished 16th last season. The board are hoping that we will get into the playoffs this year. Yeah, there we go. We've won the top division 6 times. So quite interesting. Let's have a little look at the rest of our bits and pieces. 2.5-star reputation. Founded in 1888, would you believe? You're going to go away from this knowing a huge amount more about Sparta Rotterdam. Although I think we've done with the lessons, to be honest with you. Okay, so let's have a little look at what we've got. Estimated value, £8 million. Ticket price, £16 for average. Season ticket holders, 7,300. Average season ticket price, £171. There is one of our icons. And there's another. And favoured personnel. Couple of one player still playing from the looks of things now at Roda. Okay, so that's kind of where we are from that. Let's have a little look at our facilities. So we are in Rotterdam. Obviously, we have 11,000 capacity. Our stadium was built in 1916. However, apparently, according to Wiki, in 1999, I think it was, the stadium was renovated, so it's had a bit of a spruce up, which is quite nice. Average stadium condition, unsoil heating, no roof. Got synthetic surface. We've gone for the widest pitch we could go for. Let's have a little look. Perfect pitch conditions. We've got adequate corporate facilities, good training facilities, great youth facilities. That's another reason we went for them. And there we go. So the Het Kestal is our stadium. And it looks like all of our reserves and everybody else plays there as well. Okay, affiliates. What have we got? We've just got the one, Capelli. I'm guessing that's who it is. So before we get started, I want to apologise, first of all, for the horrible butchering of the pronunciations of some of the stuff I'm going to have to say in this series. I'll just throw it out there that I'm very, very sorry. Especially if you're Dutch and you start watching this series, I really do apologise. And there probably will be some Dutch accents coming out of my mouth at some point. I apologise for that as well. Okay, so let's have a little look at where we are now then, shall we? So we've played our friendlies. First off, we had a poor start at Le Havre, but then it's turned around slightly. And then against our affiliate, we drew 2-2 with a goal in the last minute. Obviously, a 6-1 win. Beat some top flight opposition as well, so that went quite well. And now we are playing our first game. Now, interestingly, as you can see down the list, a lot of their games played on a Friday night, which is quite interesting. Friday night football, I like it. Okay, what else have we got going on? Let's have a little look at our squad, shall we? And let's do it this way so we can see what we've got. As you can see, as we look down the list, I'm quite concerned about our midfield. I've actually signed Razzaq, who was on a free. So before we bought him in, obviously our midfield was particularly weak. So I'm pleased to have brought someone in. Our formation, we're playing 4-2-3-1. And it seems to be doing okay, but it's always difficult to tell in the friendlies exactly what kind of level you're coming up against. So that's kind of where we are with that. Let's have a little look at our, I guess, our best players. Daniel Bredick is 20-year-old defender and is rated very, very highly, as you can see. Looks like he's making good progress as well, so that's good news. Don't think there's anyone too interested in him, which is good. And then our new signing, Abdul Razzaq. Now, as you can see, he's been around a lot. Crystal Palace, Man City, Portsmouth, Brighton, Man City, Charlton, back to Man City, Angie, West Ham. You know, he's been around Doncaster and then all of a sudden back to us. So he gets around a bit. So let's hope that isn't a sign that he causes trouble. And then we've got some potential youngsters. So Sherelle Floranus. Does his surname say anus? Anyway, yeah, he looks good for a 16-year-old. He's got good set of skills. Apart from this, which is he's a defender, so that's all right. But he looks like he could be all right for us. I'm slightly apprehensive about some of his mental stuff. It's not quite, I'd hope some of these would be a little bit higher, especially the positioning. But hopefully we can get him working on that. We're probably going to send him out on loan, get him some first team action somewhere. But what we tend to find with a lot of Dutch teams is they have a lot of good youth players coming through. It's just they all then tend to make their way to Ajax, Feyenoord or PSV, and that's why you why they all sort of seem to come through that youth system. So there we go. That's kind of where we are. We have told the team that we want them to finish in the playoffs. The board have said we want to finish in the playoffs. As you can see, money-wise, we are doing okay. Not fantastically, but, we've got some money in the bank, and this month we're making a profit, last month we made a profit. This month we're now making a loss, but we haven't played any games. So here we go, everybody. Let's get this one underway. We're away against RKC. I'm going to apologise again for the butchering of some of the names. Now, one thing we have gone for is this fella up top. Now, he, as you can see, can't really play there now. Unfortunately, our main striker fractured his wrist. I've told him he can play with a support. However, he's not really particularly fit. So we're going to hold off on that one for the time being. That means Lagendrick, apologies, is going to get a shout. Razzaq's playing in the middle of the park. We're good to go. They're all lacking in sharpness, but that's fine. Auto number 16 to Razzaq. Now, the warming up, taking a bit of time. Thinks it's going to be a draw. Okay, so very similar formations, as you can see. We're about to get started. And Michael Reisiger, there he is, our assistant, is going to tell us that we should give them a bit of a morale boost, so we'll do that, and we will send them out, and we will get our first game underway. So, for those of you who haven't seen, this is the new match engine. It looks quite pretty. Some pro zone stats. I'm going to change this to overall. Unfortunately, I haven't found a way of keeping it overall, which is a bit of a pain. But overall gives us a better idea of what's happening in the game, which is good. And as you can see, we've got first 8 minutes majority share of the ball. However, we've yet to do anything with it. We try and play, I didn't really touch too much on the tactics, try and play quite a sharp passing style of football. We don't take too many long shots. We try and create opportunities like that with the wingers cutting in, with the attacking midfielder role, with the striker being a complete forward, hopefully creating space for those midfielders to get into the box. It's worked quite well in the friendlies. It's created quite a lot of chances, so hopefully that's something to go by. However, I did also notice that we give up quite a bit of ground in our final third, but we're looking to play good attacking football, especially in Holland. It's the home of total football. That's what we want to play at some point when we can bring in the players to do that. But as I say, this is kind of where we fall short because our fullbacks are pushing on. They're in and they've scored. 15 minutes gone, we're a goal down in our first game. It's a good little goal as well. Used the space well. Got across the defender at the near post. And good touch in at the near post. 1-0 down. Not good. Like I say, he's gone against the grain a little bit. We've had a lot of the ball and a lot of the play without creating any real chances. Here we go. We tried to loft that forward. We're not going to find our player, and there they come again. Now, just to bear in mind, this is the beta. What I've noticed in the few games I've played, there seems to be a hell of a lot of goals in a lot of these games, and quite a few from corners of late. So hopefully that will change. Football Manager is always a little bit uneven in the betas. You tend to find it takes maybe up until sort of the end of December-ish for the match engine to really even itself out and for the updates to deal with those. So hopefully in the second half we can go and put on a performance and get some of those goals I've been talking about. But just that's the reason we might see a lot of odd results. But we're not really doing anything at this moment in time. That's a little bit better. We've started to get the ball down, and we've found some space out wide. There's the ball into the box. There's another pass, and we have scored. It's 1-1. That's the kind of football I was talking about, where we're using the ball well, and it's not taking us too long to play those passes. As you can see, 2 touches and then a pass, 1 touch, then a pass, and then the first time finish. That's what we want. So I think we're probably going to need to make that change. Couple of changes in there. Well done, Razzaq. Oh, we can get that ball out wide, and here they come. And they found their winger, and they've got a man on the overlap. Here he is. Oh, we've got a bit fortunate there, I think. A couple of changes have been made. We've hoofed the ball clear. 67 minutes gone. Okay, we have lost the ball. Not good news. They've cut inside Wales, a good ball across. They've scored. They've ripped us to shreds there. All because we gave away the ball high up the pitch. I mean, it's going to take us a bit of time to get to some form of fitness in this early days. As the warning popped up when we picked our first team, there's a lot of lacking of sharpness. But that is poor. You just let them pick up the ball in midfield and tear through us. And we're going to feel a bit disheartened by this if it stays like this, because we've had more of the ball. We've had a lot more of the ball, I think, and certainly in areas where we want it. Oh, come on, boys. I don't know if that's true, actually. I think this might have switched back to last 5 minutes. It has. Yeah, I mean, we still had a hell of a lot of ball in their area, in their final third, and we've not made the most of it. And there's the full-time whistle when it's a loss. So they're unlucky and put them on their way. I don't want to walk away with too many disheartened players too early on. We've got our first goal. 9 to 12 days. Now, one thing that's quite interesting, actually, is I've signed 2 people. I've signed Razzaq, obviously, that we saw, and a new fitness coach from Spain. And both of them, it gives me the opportunity to send them on intensive language learning courses, obviously, because they're trying to pick up a language. I don't know if it's allowed me to go on one, which is really weird, considering I'm the manager. But yeah, we were able to send our players and our coaches on this this opportunity to go and learn the language as quickly as possible to bed into the team and into the community better, which is quite nice. And as I say, when one of our players got injured in the friendlies, he fractured his wrist. It gave us the opportunity to pay to send him to a specialist to get the equipment to be able to go and play, carry on playing, because he's got his wrist sorted by a specialist, and which is quite nice. I mean, it hasn't helped us because he's not very fit at this moment in time, but yeah, quite cool that those 2 options are available. Normally, you get the option to give someone an injury, which gets them through, an injection, which gets them through one game, but not through the others. So there we go. So I mean, it's very early days, obviously, as we know. We're now up against our next opposition, Eindhoven. Hopefully we're at home, we can get our first win. That's what we want. That's what we need, to be honest with you. We need to get a win early on to push on. Just realised that we don't have a goalkeeper on the bench because our goalkeeper's injured. And as you can see, most of our players playing in that lone striker role, pretty much all of the same ilk. We haven't got one who stands out. I've looked on the transfer list for more, haven't really found them. I mean, I could change this from complete forward to something else, but it seemed to be working quite well in the early days. So none of them really want to play in that role. Let's get back in there. Shall we change it? Let's try that. Let's see how it works. May switch it back because I like the idea of him being the complete forward, but you know, we need someone who can be a complete forward, if I'm honest with you, and we haven't got that. Okay. The teams are warming up. So match 2 is about to get underway. Let's send the assistant. Let's get back into the old habits. Let's tell them good luck and let's send them out. Okay. Can we get a win? The other thing with Football Manager, what you find is every year there's a couple of formations that seem to do better than the others. Oh my lord. I'm playing this one because it works quite well for us in the friendlies, but also it's kind of what I'm used to from the old Football Managers. The only other thing I might do is swap the attacking midfielder to a defensive midfielder, but I thought, you know, early on we'd try being a bit more expressive and attacking, and then we'll work backwards from there. Last 5 minutes we've had a hell of a lot of the ball in a hell of a lot of dangerous areas, but haven't really done anything with it again, which is a shame. "20 minutes gone, nothing happened other than Razzaq picking up a booking. That's it, nothing going on at all. They've had a really good chance early on. We're going to get through the first half and have done nothing. Well, that could have gone better, boys. Send them back out. Oh, Razzaq, what was that? Oh, horrendous defending. No one came for the short corner, which I have noticed actually early on in the beta. Short corners seem to be the way to go. It feels a bit cheaty, I have to say. So if it becomes a bit too obvious, I might change it so we're not taking any short corners. You know, if it becomes a common thing where we're scoring lots of goals from corners, I will try and change it a little bit because I don't think that's entirely fair. Because the computer doesn't seem to take short corners very often. Okay. Off we go again. Oh, we've cut that out. We've got a chance. Can we create something? There's Razzaq. There's Dougal. He scored an absolute screamer in the friendlies. We've played the ball well. It's a good little goal. And that's the football I wanted to see. It was that quick, fast moving football where the ball is moving quicker than the players are able to run. That's the point of passing ahead of running with the ball, because you can always make it move quicker than you can with it at your feet. And it worked well, you know, and that's what we're looking for. We want it to be doing that. Okay, we're going to make some changes in midfield though. And probably one in defence. And we'll just go a little bit more defensive as well. Now we're 2-0 up. Hope that doesn't come to bite us in the backside. It's come to bite us in the backside very, very early, which is very, very disappointing. Unbelievable. Literally as soon as we switch, As soon as we score, we concede. Another goal where it's got in at the near post. We need a win here, boys. We can't afford to capitulate and concede again. Okay, come on. Let's keep it tight, boys. Just going to switch to counter-attacking football if we can win the ball back, but we'll let them in down the wing again. There's the cross to the back post. They've hit the bar. We're going to live life on the edge, I think, this season. Come on, boys. Let's get something to just seal it up a little bit. Win the ball back. Oh, crap. Oh, crap. Do not foul. Oh, my God. They're in at the back post. They've scored. What the hell are you lot doing? What the hell are you lot doing? Come on. Good little goal, to be fair, but not enough pressure on the ball. The marking is all over the shop. We're still trying to get to grips with the formation, so fingers crossed once we become a bit more accustomed to it, we might step up. But to throw away a 2-0 lead, horrendous. Can we steal something at the end? We've hit the post. Last 2 minutes. Got the ball in the box. It's a terrible pass. And we are going to get a point if we're lucky, I think, now. So disappointing, considering we had a lead. We threw it away. Can we work something? We're down the wing. We've lost the ball. So in answer to my question, no, we can't. Well in. Oh, and there's a nice little ball. We've got it still on the wing. And the cross is blocked. We have to settle for a throw in. Last 30 seconds of this match. Ball's pulled back. There's Dugan. And there's a tackle, and here they come. Oh my God, they've got players through the middle. We could be in trouble. Get rid of that. It's 2-2. It's very disappointing. So they weren't good enough. And 2 games down, 1 point. Okay. Well, everybody, there we go. Let's just have a little look at what that means. That puts us in 15th place, just above the relegation zone, I would imagine. Thank you very much for watching. Please hit the like button. Let us know in the comments what you think of the choice of Sparta, what you think we can achieve, not only for this season, but for the whole of the series. Anything you want to say, hit it in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button, subscribe, and follow us on Twitter at ScottDogGaming. We'll see you again soon. Thank you.